Hello and welcome to a 2D review. He's David.
And he's Dirk.
He's a bundle of joy.
And he's a wreck.
We'll go with that. This one is way late because the original apparatus we recorded it with died.
Yeah, there was no sound.
Yeah, for anything at all.
So we had like a whole half an hour thing going on. We had a box. It was great. The box is gone now.
The box is gone. It's just sad.
We'll probably show you the box anyway. Yeah, we're here today to review Inside Out.
Which is a fantastic film that you should all go see immediately.
What he said. Pretty good.
So,
End of review.
yeah, begin review. Generals about the film. As in, like, general plot and things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a girl called Riley, and inside her head are these 5 little characters and a big world, and they are her emotions. I'm describing this really badly, please just do it.
The film revolves around the life of Riley, an 11-year-old girl moving from Minnesota to San Francisco. Obviously, for her, it's a very distressing time. She's just, very difficult time rather. Just moved halfway across the country, lost friends, probably left relatives behind, whole new city, big scary thing. She gets to the house, nothing is as it seems, and guiding her along the way are 5 personified emotions. They are joy, anger, fear, sadness, and disgust. And they control Riley. Not in a fleshy Jaeger kind of way, in a more Starship Enterprise kind of way.
They react to how she reacts, and they also help her react to what she reacts to. Like, if she's having a really good time, this is where joy goes to this control panel and makes her feel joy.
Yeah, but we can go into that and like spoilers and things later. But that's the general gist of the movie. Things happen to the emotions. Things happen to Riley. These things clash. And without further ado, let's get on to the positives. Liam.
Okay, the animation in this film is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Like, there is so much detail in there, and lighting is good. It's just, everything is executed really well.
Yes, it is. Anything else?
There are lovable characters. I really like Joy. It's really interesting to see how Riley reacts in comparison to how they react and stuff, and the colours are great.
Personally, I'd like to chime in, like the whole world that the emotions inhabit works is fantastic. It's all perfectly realised and even makes some kind of scientific sense. For example, Riley's short-term memories are converted to long-term memories at night. Those memories are then used to tell the Dream Productions team what to do. All this kind of thing. It's really nicely done. And as I said, the emotions controlling Riley, it's not like a fleshy Jaeger where they can just all press buttons at once and turn Riley into a big fighting robot. Although, let's face it, that would kind of be cool. Anywho, as I said, she's not like a big fleshy robot. Fleshy robot. Riley has a degree of autonomy. She can do things on her own without the emotions guiding them. They don't walk her. They don't make her bend over. Riley does, bends over to pick up a penny or whatever, but it's Joy who ultimately makes the decision to pick up that penny. Or, for example, Disgust might say, leave that penny alone, you have no idea where it's been, and it's just a penny.
And then Fear's there like, oh, she's right, It's kind of a scary penny. There could be diseases on the penny. And then Joy's like, no, it's a penny.
Yeah, the character interplay is utterly fantastic. The five emotions work together with each other so well. They're characterized as this sort of ragtag but friendly little team, and they all work together and they all care for Riley. And it's a theme throughout the film that the emotions aren't, again, like captains or anything. They're almost like godparents
Yeah.
that are constantly there.
They have a
looking-
strong connection with Riley, each
Yeah.
and every one of them.
And Joy in particular, I find. Though perhaps it's just because we don't sit.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't get to see the other emotions like connecting with Riley as much as we do Joy, because the story is kind of about joy
yeah.
and sadness. But there is one fantastic scene on that which I'll go into in the spoilers.
The physics of the world are pretty cool, like in the way that they have these orbs that appear. When, like, if something good happens to Riley, like a joy orb will appear, and that'll be a part of her memory for the day.
Yeah,
and
that'll be a memory that's then later either forgotten about later on down the road, or gets permanently stored in long-term memory. The film even has a way of explaining how you forget about certain things and remember other things, which involves one of the best running gags I've seen in anything. Also, did I mention this is my second favourite Pixar film now? Next to The Incredibles, it's like Inside Out is right here. This is The Incredibles is like, it's that good. Yeah. And I also have to mention the voice actors are perfect. Mindy Kaling, as discussed, there really could not have been anybody else. Louis Black as Anger was fantastic. Bill Hader as Fear was on point. Was it Amy Poehler as Joy was just totally rampant throughout the whole film. She was probably like buzzing, just like buzzing like this in the recording booth studio for that. And Phyllis Smith as Sadness was possibly the best casting choice I can think of. She just sounds permanently down. She sounds like Eeyore. It's just like female Eeyore. It's great. Got anything else then?
Transitions between the real world and the mind world work pretty well.
Yeah, it does handle that. Does handle that pretty well.
And I love the concepts in a lot of the Mindscape.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with Mindscape.
Mindscape works.
A lot of concepts in Mindscape are cool.
Such as the train of thought. The train of thought was pretty awesome.
There was a train, I thought.
It's an actual train.
That's
I
not really
thought.
spoiler, it's just a train.
That's available on one of the clips you can see online, so it's not spoilery.
It was in trailer too.
Also in the trailer. And so that brings us on to the negatives. Liam, do you have any?
Yes, I wish there was more about the other emotions. Like, I felt like the story pretty much focuses around joy and sadness because of spoilers and stuff. But I felt like the other emotions could have had more of a role in this film. Like, it would have been interesting to see how like they connected to Riley and things. I think, yeah.
I get where you're coming from, but I think they had, like, if they'd have made the movie go on any longer, it would have been to the film's detriment. Like, I think they handled it about as well as they could have done with that.
I just would have liked more. And maybe a grown-up Riley, because it tends to stay around her childhood. It would have been interesting to see her go through a lot more stuff.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
That's my opinion.
I'm gonna have to disagree with this guy
These
here.
are opinions.
These are opinions. Hot, fresh opinions. That's good.
Your negatives?
Hell if I got any. Which brings us on to spoilers. Liam, do you want to spoil anything?
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
Ping pong, no! You feel in this film.
Oh, out of the gate! You could have at least.
We do this now. There's a character called Ping Pong, okay? He's not in the trailer all that much, you don't really know who he is, and then you meet him, and then... Ping Pong! He's Riley's imaginary friend from a kid, and he pretty much dies.
He has one of the most tragic sacrifices I've ever seen in an animated film or a film in general. It is just heartbreaking to see him go. Particularly like the way he does. He's not in pain or anything, but it's like if you've seen Toy Story 3, you're familiar with the incinerator scene. Imagine the part where they go into the incinerator and they all hold hands when they accept their fate. Imagine that, but the aliens don't save them.
Or at least Woody stays alone while the others escape.
Yeah. Or like Slinky, for example. Slinky stays behind and he's like, no, it's alright, I'm dead weight.
Yeah. Basically, Joy and Bing Bong are trapped in the memories that are going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
And the only way to get out is to sing their way up, but he's heavy and he's already fading, and he's like, I gotta get Joy out of here, and he pretty much gets her up there and he's still at the bottom. She didn't realise until it's over, and he just kind of... He pretty much turns to dust.
That is like, oh.
But it's like the way that he was like, it's okay. It was really sad because it was like Joy didn't want it to be like that.
Yeah.
It's not okay. Bing Bong played a big role in the film, even though he's not really, you don't really see him in the adverts or anything, and it was quite sad.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Well, I'm going to go for a more cheery spoiler after that one. Christ!
I went there, just dove right in, like, spoiler time, feel. This film's about feels, guys.
So, the one I would like to pull up, it comes sort of early on in the film. It's about 30 minutes in, where Riley's asleep and she just had a horrible first day there. And instead of playing the Dream, which Dream Studios has basically created as a hokey horror film full of like fake looking ghosts and one rat that looks really like Remy from Ratatouille as a zombie. And she eventually just she actually says, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but and then you see her like do something with her foot, and she just pulls up one particular memory of Riley just skating around, and there's no dialogue, just nothing after that, no dialogue, just the little piano theme that goes with Riley. Or at least the little piano theme that seems to go with Riley and Joy. And Joy just skates around on the floor in front of the
Dream
console.
Yeah.
It's like whilst watching the memory and sort of like skating with Riley in the memory. I'm getting all like tingly just thinking about it, and all like rosy just thinking about it. It's like it made me so happy seeing that one scene. It's like,
and you really
that's
see
beautiful.
The bond that Joy has with Riley.
Yeah.
She really cares for this girl.
Yeah, and the opening scene of this film is just
it's beautiful.
Phenomenal. It is, you agree, it's absolutely beautiful. And in which Joy sort of like appears. Riley is a newborn, an incredibly modelled newborn. Just for kicks, watch the Pixar short Tin Toy from 1988, I think it was.
Don't do it. It's creepy as hell.
It contains a baby. Just watch that and then watch the start of Inside Out to just fully appreciate how far Pixar have come over the years. But anywho, and the one scene, Joy appears. She is the only emotion there. It's a completely black room with a single pedestal. and it's totally black. There's no light save for like a little light on the pedestal, and Joy. And she goes up, she presses the one little button on the pedestal, and like the eyes sort of like open a bit more, and you see little baby Riley get like a little smile.
Sorry.
That's my best impression of a baby. Cut me some.
Okay.
And he just makes a cute little laugh and smile and gurgle. It's like, oh. And then the first memory is made, and you see it comes in from left of shot. And I don't know if there's any cuts there. It comes in from like left of shot, and it just rolls along. And as it rolls along, it goes from total blackness to this like multicolored, bright, vibrant, abstract kind of thing. And it rolls along, and it reveals more as it goes into its final little place, and that is the first memory that Riley ever has, which presumably got deleted later on, but
the birth of Joy, basically.
yeah, and like Joy is born, and you see Joy looking up. It's just so happy.
Pressing the button.
Yeah, just like pressing the button and
Which
just
made
making
Riley laugh.
Yeah, and just making Riley happy, and then just all of a sudden sadness. And all of a sudden Riley starts crying, and then you meet Sadness, who's like, "I'm Sadness."
Boop. Boop. And then Joy is just like, doof. Get out the way. Beep, beep. Pretty much fighting over who's sad and who's happy.
Yeah. Although, let's face it, Sadness resigns herself every time. She's not a fighter. She's just like, oh, okay, I'll go hide in the corner. Like, that's a theme throughout the movie, was just Joy is a dick to
Joy
Sadness.
It's pretty harsh to Sadness, and pretty much throughout the film she learns that sadness is important, so...
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone realised it.
Yeah. I'd actually like to pull up one final point here, is that the big turning point in the movie, from a tension point of view, is where Anger, noticing that everything is totally screwed, decides that it's a good idea to make Riley run off back to Minnesota, away from her parents, on her own, across the country.
Running away from home. Because she hates where she is, and he's hopeless.
Yeah. And when Anger puts that one idea in, he actually says there's no going back now. And your heart quickens at that point. It's like, oh God. Because at that point it really shifts gear. It's no longer Riley is having a bad day. It's they gotta get to headquarters, or else Riley's gonna do something really stupid.
Riley's got the idea of running away now.
Yeah, and they can't stop it. And seeing it...
At the time, it seemed like a good idea to them, because it's like, well, what else can we do?
Yeah. And it's interestingly that it's discussed who actually opposes it the most. Like, she's the most level-headed of them all. But, I was saying, as it goes on, like, Riley formulates the plan, and you see all her, like, social ties falling apart. You see her life falling apart throughout the whole film, figuratively and literally. And seeing bits of her personality fail right up until she gets onto the bus, where she is a zombie.
Is that her, the control panel is freezing up, like no one can use it at this point?
Yeah, at this point, nobody can use the control panel.
So
it's
she is
black.
Emotionless.
She's depressed at this point. I'm pretty sure
But she can't be sad. So it's messed up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just the film's way of showing depression. It's just like the emotions are completely unable to do anything.
She can't cry about it to fix it either. Sadness is lost.
Yeah. But seeing her go through the act of running away and seeing the emotions, like, realizing what a horrible mistake they've made.
And that they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that is really, really sad.
It's
like,
scary. You don't think she's gonna get out of there. I mean, she's pretty much on the bus at this point.
yeah, it gets really close to the knuckle, and somehow the Pixar film with the tiniest scale somehow makes me feels a lot more tense than anything else they've done. I mean, like, sure, you can have robots blasting off into space. I mean, you can go a huge scale there, but didn't feel very invested in Wall-E. Didn't feel like there was much threat. Here, the worst thing that happens is a girl gets on the bus, but I was like, oh god, don't do it.
I think throughout the film, you're pretty much going, you feel what Joy is feeling. You care for this girl. You don't want to see this girl get on a bus and go somewhere she doesn't know.
Well, she does know it,
But she's going to run the bus on her own. And no matter how you put it, an 11-year-old should not go adventuring on her own
on a bus.
at night.
Yeah, that was a really powerful scene. Also, I think this is the first spoiler section where we basically spoiled the entire like last hour of the film.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And so I think we're going to think. Do you wanna?
Shall we wrap it up then?
I wanna wrap it up.
Film was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
You feel a lot. You go up and down. It's like a roller
Absolutely,
coaster.
absolutely fantastic.
Lots of concepts, lots of colours, lots of juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition.
Good.
Just go to the numbers.
Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 1.
I'll give it a 1 too.
Go see this film. It'll make you feel.
Giving it a grand score of.
Do.
Go see it. It's absolutely fantastic. The only detractor I can give to this is that Disney gave it an absolutely horrible international release schedule. I believe it's not out in Germany for another month or so.
Didn't we get it a month late?
Yeah, the UK got it a month late. There are places that are getting it later than us. For reasons. Because Disney. So yeah, I'll try and put Disney's details in the description, and you should totally like go and tell them, simultaneous worldwide release, please.
And subscribe.
But do that first. Moan at Disney first.
Moan at Disney, then subscribe.
Moan at Disney, then subscribe.
Or at least leave a like.
Leave a like that says leave a like and then comment about Disney Sake, and then send like your comment to Disney.
Or any hints and tips for our videos or whatever. Just
yeah, we're open to suggestions.
Like if you want us to dress up as crabs, you can dress up as a crab.
I'm not dressing up as a crab.
You're dressing up as a crab if you want.
I'm not. This is not a thing.
But if they want you to.
I don't care how much they want me to. I'm not dressing up as a crab.
You'll dress up as a crab.
I'm not dressing up as a crab.
Okay, we're done here.
2D out.